Oh my goodness. I saw a video and I don't even know how I'm gonna label this or if I'm even gonna put it in my intro because y'all know how I do my vlogs. I chop up a few days into a vlog. But anyway, wanted to come on, talk to y'all, speak to the vlog today and let y'all know that one of the YouTubers that I watch, I believe her channel, let me take these off because they broke for real, they broke for real. I believe her channel is My Jazzy Life. I believe that's her channel, and I cannot be for sure. But anyway, she from upstate. She be down here to visit in North Carolina every now and again. I have seen a couple of her vlogs where they do that. And now, on her vlog, her daughter ran away. And I believe this is her teenage daughter. I believe she's like 13 maybe, but I know she said teen something. Before I get started in this vlog, I'm gonna give myself a good 25-30 minutes on this topic, but I want to first start off by saying, and it was tough for me. It was tough for me, y'all. I'm smiling because I'd rather smile than cry. Okay, and if my anxiety gets the best of me, I smile a lot. So if during this video I smile or I say something jokingly, I will make sure to say I'm joking. If I'm joking, if I am not joking, but I'm still smiling, just know I'm telling you the truth, okay? So anyway, I want to start off to say, parents with teenagers, now is your time to pivot. When your child becomes a teenager, and I don't know about you, but me, I was like literally counting down, like, oh my goodness, they're going to be a teenager one day. I can't wait till they're teenagers. But your parenting style must also change as well. Like, I can only say it the best way that my husband said it, which was when he said, now it's time to be there to pick them up when they fall. Now that was challenging for me. Now I don't know how challenging that will be for other parents, but for me, I don't want my child to bust his head. I don't want them to fall. I don't want them to have to go through those life things, circumstances, situations that I went through or that may have a negative outcome. We don't want that. I didn't want that for my children, but over time, watching them, I have 7. I know that about 3 of them are going to have to let life become their teacher. I've been the best teacher that I can be. It doesn't take away from my ability to teach and train and coach and help them to overcome and adapt and deal with their emotion. It doesn't take away any of my value at all. And I had to learn that going through this situation that I'm going to tell you about. So I just say that. Pivot with these teenagers. Okay? My daughter and the daughter that I'm talking about, and I'm going to tell you about, is the one I'm about to tell you this about. She recently wanted to go spend the night with her boyfriend. Now, I remember when I got to that age and I wanted to go with their dad, and I was a teenager at the time. I was pregnant with her, and this was my first time ever spending the night away from home with a boy, and I wanted to go with his parents to spend Christmas with them, and it was an overnight trip because we had to go out of town a few hours away. And my granddad, I know he didn't want me to go. It was against doctor's orders. My pregnancy was already high risk. Doctor didn't want me to go, but me, being this one that needed to learn this lesson now, did I get the outcome that I wanted? No. But did I learn the lesson that I need? Did I learn the thing that I needed to help me make a better decision going on later on in life? I did. Now, that did play a part in me when I decided, you know what? I sat with myself and I prayed about it. And even though it wasn't her that helped me to make the decision whether or not I was going to let her go, I finally decided to let her go. I let her go, and I let her go with the blessing of, I hope that you have the experience that you're wanting to have. And I say that because we gotta let some of these kids learn through life and just be thankful to God that we are here in our position and in our power to stand as mediators and as prayer warriors and as intercessors. Even though, Jasmine, that this may not be the most comfortable situation, stand strong in knowing that now is the time for you to get your prayers, get your prayer warrior on. Put him on. Put the whole man on. Put the whole armor on, because now it's time that we stand as the intercessors for our children. For real, like, this is the time that we really realize. And I know for me, it was much earlier than me having children, but when I realized that I was praying for my family, I was praying my family through some things, and it was tough to be in that position, but I was the only one in that position, opening up to allow God to see in that situation and need help in that situation and need God in that situation by any means necessary. So that to say this too. Now I'm looking for my bag, because this same daughter, and I see it, and I don't know if I'm gonna read this note to y'all, but I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna read it to myself. I'm gonna read it to myself. She is about to be 18 years old, and at this point, I tell myself, if I don't start allowing her to do the things she's coming to ask me to do, she's just going to do them. And I hope not. I hope I've made that way clear and open enough to her so that she understands. Please continue to keep communicating with me and talking to me. But she ran away too. She left me this nice little note, and this was before therapy. This was before we went to therapy. This is what actually made me take her to therapy, and we haven't had to go back, but she knows that option is on the table. And I know that as far as Jasmine is concerned, who I'm speaking about in this video, who has inspired me to talk about this, said that her daughter is in that and going through the motions of the therapy. And I'm gonna say this to that, is that for me, I always have to have a stronghold over disciplining them, being mindful of their emotions, especially with the girls, the boys as well, but especially with the girls, and also not having this wall per se that they feel like they don't have anybody to come and be vulnerable with. And I, like I said, I posted this on a Facebook post, and I was like, I pride myself in building that village for them of individuals and connections, to where if they don't feel like they can be vulnerable with me, they can find somebody that I know, that I trust, that they trust too, that they can be vulnerable with. And so in this situation, when she did run away, and I want to say she's 17 now. Was she 16 when she ran away? She was between 16 and 17, about to be 17. Now, but by IG, dot dot dot. This was tough to read when I first read it. And I dealt with my emotions. I cried it out. And then instantly the first immediate concern was her safety. Because one, my daughter, I knew that she was going to go to school. So I knew that I was going to have an opportunity to catch her on school grounds, and she works. So I knew that I would have an opportunity to catch her at work. But a lot more parents need to be upfront and transparent, and I keep this with me. And this is my first time reading it in a while. It actually makes me want to do a check-in with her. She's at work currently. Oh my goodness, we do so much work, trying to be good parents. And we do so much work with our children, trying to help them to become the best version of themselves, when all I want to do right now within myself is just work on being the best version of me. And that can be selfish sometimes to me. I deal with mom guilt when it comes to that. But in that situation right there, when she decided that she wanted to run away, I took her phone. And I took her phone from her because she wasn't keeping on top of her chores. She was on the phone all times of night, falling asleep all on FaceTime with the boyfriend. And she wasn't being as active as I would like for her to be. Teenagers get this little spell where they feel like roommates, or it seems to be like they want to be in their room all the time, or not as active or engaged. And so I had required for her to, be a little bit more active and present in certain things and comings and going. And she wasn't feeling that. It didn't really dawn on her till we did go to the therapist. Like, yo, you have to actively can choose these things and choose less of those things that you want. But like, I had to deal with myself first before I dealt with her. And in dealing with her, I first chose to deal with her mental health, because I wanted to make sure I was talking to a clear version of my daughter. So the only way sometimes to get them clear is to take the distractions away from them, cut them off from the things that they find a lot of attachment to, and that can be challenging and difficult, and trigger them to do such dramatic, and I don't say dramatic in the way like, oh, woe is me. I say that in a way to mean these running away things can be life-changing. So you put yourself in such a vulnerable situation, such as Jazzy was addressing in her video. And I hope I'm saying her channel name right. Y'all can go watch her video. What's going to happen when you come on your period and you can't handle it? What's going to happen when you need to get here and there and you can't provide that for yourself? What's going to happen when, or if, God forbid, any of these things is to happen, somebody see you on the side of the road with all these bags and want to take advantage of you because you look lost and innocent and like you don't know where you going and like you don't have no idea or no clue of what's... It's people out here looking for other vulnerable motherfuckers, even though they may be in a vulnerable ass situation themselves. You never know where you're going to be in a place to where somebody is looking for somebody that look like you. So just put yourself in better situations. What I say to these teenagers is, and I give my children autonomy over their choices. Be responsible for every choice you make. Understand it comes with a consequence. Okay? It can create situations for others connected to you. And that you will be held responsible for the choices you make, irregardless to whether or not you felt like though it had any value, or whether or not you felt like it was childish or petty or worth doing. My now 18-year-old son at the time was 16, was 17. Yeah, he was 17, just about to be 18. I give them mental health days. I give them mental health days, one day a month, to where they can say, hey, Mom, I want to stay home from school. Okay? He called me. He was at his cousin's house. Ma, I want to take my mental health day. I want to stay home from school. Okay? Me not thinking, ooh, it's a big-ass loophole. He not home. That's what I did. I woosah, I prayed. I went to sleep. I woke up and said, I wonder what time he going to be home, because I know he's not going to school today. But now, some of them, no, his cousin ended up having to go to school. So his crazy ass gets on the bus with a ton of paraphernalia and a pocket knife and ends up at his cousin's school. He got on the city bus, not the city, but the county bus that takes the children to school. With all this shit, gets to his school, decides that now that he's there and they're about to go to class, he's like, what am I going to do now? Trying to leave the building, gets apprehended by an officer because he all of a sudden a fight breaks out in front of him. The officer's like, sir, where do you belong? Whose class are you in? Now he's going to this. He's not arrested right now. He's not in handcuffs, but he is. They do put him in handcuffs. They're about to take him to figure out where he's supposed to be and call me and inform me of what's going on. This little Negro, Rachi, decides to run, makes a A-line bolt for the first door he swings open to the outside, darts across 4 lanes of traffic. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy on my soul. All I can say is that I'm glad I was here praying. That my son made it home. I was praying for an outcome. I was praying that God had his hand on my son. And in any situation, Lord, be there to see and send angels and send somebody to protect them and cover them and call on you, Father, in the name of Christ. Lord, have mercy on these children. Cover them, be with them, guide them, mother them, love them, nurture them, protect them. Send an angel to give them wise counsel. Little girl, go home. Little girl, go home. When my daughter ran away, I prayed to God that she was somewhere safe and that she would return safe, Lord, and be with her in whatever situation that she may find herself in, to send somebody to speak a word that would get through to her. And that is what happened. I'm telling you, 20 minutes before I was about to call the police, this little girl called me because she was ended up with my baby mama. And my baby mama said, you better pick up that phone. You better call your mama, because my baby mama know all too well about being a runaway. Pray for people. Cover people. Ask God to send angels of protection and angels to minister to people. Especially the lost, especially people who have become distracted, especially those who have become hypnotized by fools. What was it? Lot prayed for his nephew for an angel to go in there and pull him out of Sodom and Gomorrah. He knew how much temptation it was. Y'all know I don't like to get on here and be preaching, and I don't really have time. All I'm saying is, kids, honor your mother and father, and not in a way that have been done in generations before. This is too much stress on your parents. Don't be running away because you can't figure out how to communicate. Okay? Don't be running away because you can't figure out how to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Don't run away because you cannot figure out how to process your emotions and understand how to communicate and vent and really deal with relationships. The relationship with your parents is one of the most important relationships that you're going to have, and it's going to reflect on all the other relationships in your life. So if you can't manage the relationship with the two primary people, then how do you think the managing of the other relationships in your life are going to go? Just look at it. Just take a picture. Just observe. Be observant of all of those things. Study. Be a doer. Study to show yourself approved. Do your own work. Don't just be influenced by the fool. Oh, he over there juggling, so I can juggle. Go try it. Learn about it. Research. Do your own mathematics on it. And as parents, that's what we have to be willing to. That's the environment we have to be open enough and willing enough for them to operate in. Go try it. Research. You get a book. Read some articles. Practice. Even if it is foolish, like Jasmine said, I have put myself in more compromising situations trying to do things to get my children out of poverty, out of lack, out of an environment that we don't have no control over. Be more open to having an understanding that we're going to have to be the creators of environments to where we're allowing them to be able to experience these things in an atmosphere where we're there with them, where we can keep them safe, where we're monitoring their behavior, where they feel comfortable enough to come to us and want that monitoring, want that wisdom. Because now a lot of children are not gleaning wisdom. So just run out in the middle of the street. Not understanding why we held their hand before we crossed the street. Not understanding why we might have held them back and took a few seconds before we crossed the street. Because they were impatient. It seems we were hindering them from their fun. Let them have their fun. Let them have their life. Let them experience those things in which they think they're going to miss out on. This is a generation of FOMO. But I always tell them this is also an era to where everything is available to you and everything is easily accessible to you. And that, to me, is the part that I have been trying to ask God to help me deal with. So if at anything at all, parents, take from this that God is showing you right now that this is one of those people that you need to put at the top of your prayer list. And if it's your children, especially because you're that one put here to pray for them. And that's just part of your assignment. So, I got all y'all in prayer, especially the moms, especially the teenagers, especially my skin folk. Because our kids have to be a step above. They have to be the tier. They have to be the bar. If not surpass it. So we're already putting that pressure on them. Imagine what this generation of that's exposure of social media is putting on them, and just be mindful of that and pray for them, and keep them encouraged, and keep encouraging people around them, and keep mindful people around them that are going to be open enough to hear them in their unapologetic selves. Teach your kids to be unapologetically themselves. Y'all might think or hear my kids talk to me hot, or even if you're not paying attention, I just allow them to be able to express themselves to me emotionally, physically, and in the most vulnerable states that they need to, because if not, that's going to hinder them from coming to be able to speak to me, or even share that letter with me, because that was powerful. And I'm telling you, I keep this in my wallet. I was thankful that she wrote me this letter. This is something that we always used to do. This is something we always do, and we fell off of doing it. And I was so thankful. And if in this first sentence gave me a lot of peace. It let me know that the Holy Spirit was with my child. Pray for your children. I'm out. Deuces. Be easy. We'll do what it is in the comments. Leave it in the comments. Go do what you need to do on all the other social media. Y'all already know what it is. I just have to keep repeating myself for the people in the back. But shout out for y'all, everybody that's been leaving comments on my soapbox, and thank you for joining the channel. What is that? I just got finished eating something. Y'all go do what it is in the comments, alright? Go do what it is on the likey button, and then go handle me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, I'm not on X no more. They don't want me over there. They don't want to verify me over there. TikTok. Let's run up a bag. Also, I got that social media intimidation, how to deal with social media intimidation class coming up on my birthday and for 6 weeks thereafter. And what else we got going on? We doing the giveaways. Don't forget about the giveaways. It's over there on my dang on Facebook, whatever the giveaways. 100,000 subscribers. We doing the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, something like that. And then at 100, we going to do the Amazon Music giveaway. And then at 1,000 subs, we doing the mystery box giveaway. So anyway, stay tuned. Do your big one. Do your big one for the free. Do your big one for me down there, and subscribe to the channel.